everybody. Welcome into Guts and Butts. This lighting is not the best because it is dark outside, just about, because of daylight savings. So I'm sorry about that. But we are about to get into our workout. Hopefully you guys can see me pretty well. As always, we're about to get into our warm-up. So be sure you have enough space to move around. So standing up if you aren't, doing an area check. Make sure that you can take a big step side to side and also a big step front and back. Today I will be using some weight plates. So a couple weights for today's workout. They are not necessary. So they're optional weights. So if you're at the gym, then you can grab a weight plate, dumbbell, kettlebell, etc. Or if you are at home, a good option to replace a weight plate would be a heavy textbook, any type of plate, type circular thing, or any object with weight. So yes, I will be demonstrating with one or both of these weight plates this evening for today's Guts and Butts workout. So working the lower body, glutes, and core focused. So mainly working those muscle groups. As always, we're about to get into our warm-up. So stand on up if you aren't already. Be sure you have enough space. And be sure you have that water handy. If not, you can get it later. But stand on up. We're going to start nice and steady by marching in place. Trying to bring those knees up high as far as we can. Pumping the arms. Nice and quick here. Just getting the body moving. We're standing up nice and tall. Let's bring this back to heel to glutes. So same thing, we're marching in place. Bringing that heel to our lower glute. Deep breaths. We're going to take this into a jog in place now. So picking up that pace just a bit. If you'd like to just stay without marching, then that is awesome as well. But keep pumping the arms. Remember to breathe. Let's go to some jumping jacks. Again, we're picking up that pace, getting the heart rate up. Option here of doing that side-to-side step for a more low-impact option. Engaging the core. Deep breaths. 3, 2, and 1. Slowing it down. Straight into that elephant stretch. Left foot's flat, right heel out. Slight bend, hips are back. We're scooping the ground, coming to the ceiling. Alternating sides. Looking like an elephant trunk here in the arms. Make sure we're sitting back into our hips. Feeling the stretch in our glutes and hamstrings. Give me one more on each side. Last one, deep breath. Exhale up. Going straight into some arm circles. We can step side to side here if we'd like to, or just stand up nice and tall. Big circles back. And rotating forward. Same deal, big circles. Tightening up those arms, engaging the core. Rolling out the shoulders. 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to take that arm across. Big squeeze. And alternate sides. So just holding it for about a second, 2 seconds. Let's go one more on each side. Last one. Next up, we're just going to do some forward lunges. Get the hips and the knees warmed up. So lunging forward. Back to center. Nice and steady, finding our balance. Nice wide step forward. Trying to get those knees to a 90-degree angle. Sitting up nice and tall, chest is open. Remember to breathe. Inhale, exhale, pushing ourselves to center. Go for 3, 2, and 1. Alrighty, guys, that was our warm-up. Shake it off. Shake it out. Get some water if you need to. Maybe turn that fan on if it isn't already. In just a moment, we're going to get into the body of our class. So today I have a circuit of lower body, glute, and core movements. So we'll go through all the movements back to back and then hopefully repeat each movement. So it'll be a bit higher intensity. Get water breaks as you need it, not as I get them. So I will be talking and explaining movements a whole bunch. So while I'm rambling about that, you guys can get some water. So get water as you need it in between our movements. Each movement will have about 20 to 40 seconds depending on if it's single leg or double leg. So take your time, go at whatever pace your body is comfortable with. You've got 40 seconds for each movement. Alrighty, guys, first movement, we're going to get into it. We have a single leg deadlift here. So either just using your body weight or picking up that textbook or that weight plate, dumbbell, kettlebell, whatever you're comfortable with. We're going to be doing a single leg deadlift here. Like in the name, it is single leg, so we'll have 20 seconds on each leg, starting with that left foot flat and right foot is elevated. We're going to have a slight bend in our knees, just like our deadlift. We're hinging at the hips. Chest is open. We're leaning the torso forward towards the ground. Back up, feet in the middle. And back down. Here, if we'd like to just do a normal deadlift with both feet down, that is an option. Or going into our B stance, having the right toes down. Instead of them elevated, the toes can be down for extra support. But we're still down and back up. So starting on the left foot nice and flat. Right foot is either flat as well. Toes back or elevated completely. So 20 seconds on this side. Weight is down in one hand and that right hand. And let's go. Leaning down towards the ground. Once we tap, we're back up a bit quicker. So nice and controlled down. Bit quicker back up, meeting in the middle. Halfway there. Working on our stability and balance as well as those lower body muscles, the glutes and the hamstrings. Go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back up. Switching sides over to that right foot. Same deal, right foot's flat. Weight transfers into the left hand. Slight bend, we're hinging, leaning the chest forward. Make sure the toes are pointing straight forward. And let's go. We're hinging down. Nice and controlled. Bit quicker back up. Meet in the middle. So making sure we're looking at that fixed point. Taking deep breaths. Controlling our bodies here. Finding our balance. If we lose it, that's perfectly fine. Just get back into it. Go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and control up. So finish that rep out. All right, guys, next up, we're going to go into a heel elevated squat here. So using that book or that plate, this is where the plates come in handy. It's optional to do them elevated. You don't have to if you don't have a plate or a textbook. But an option here is stepping on those plates, elevating our heels. So heels are on top of the edge of our plate or our textbook, and toes are on the ground. While doing our squat, so we're just sitting back, Squeezing the glutes up, having our heels elevated. We'll just work more of the back of our lower body. So glutes, hamstrings, and the quads. So that is an option to elevate the heels. If not, we're just holding that one weight. For our squats here, 30 to 40 seconds, nice and controlled. And let's go. We're sitting back into our hips, falling as far as we can. Quicker up, squeeze the glutes. So nice and controlled. Knees should be with our toes. And back up. Like I said, having the heels elevated will make you feel it more in your glutes, the back of the thighs, and the calves here, the back of our shins. Halfway there, keeping the chest open. We're sitting back and squeezing the glutes up. 10 more seconds. Nice and controlled. Deep breaths. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All the way up. Last movement here. I'm going to take it a bit quicker. We've got a squat with reverse lunges here. Having the option of getting that weight plate back. Just one. Having the option here to have the weight plate or that weight at chest. Going into reverse lunge, and squat. Or having the option to bring that weight plate overhead for the overhead reverse lunge and overhead squat. So choosing your option, we're going from right foot back into our squat, left foot back. So alternating those reverse lunges with a squat in the middle. Weight plate is overhead or at chest. 40 seconds here. And let's go. Wide step back. Squat in the middle. Wide step back. So again, going at whatever pace we're comfortable with here. We need to take it slower to catch our balance and make sure our feet are in alignment. And that's perfectly fine. If you want to take it a bit quicker, then that's awesome as well. 10 more seconds. Sitting up nice and tall. Deep breaths. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Back to center. We can put that weight down. Get some water if you need to, and we're going to move on to our next movement here. So working some core next. We've got a single arm movement with a standing side crunch. So we're going to be standing up, grabbing one of those weights or one of those household objects. We're going to be standing up nice and tall, chest is open, feet are directly under our hips, so the legs are nice and straight. Here, we're going to be bending, reaching towards one knee. Nice and controlled. Bit quicker up, back to center. So sitting up nice and tall. Bending over and back to center. Nice and controlled here. Super slow down, a bit quicker back up, crunching that left side while the weight is in the right hand. 20 seconds, we're going to switch the weight over to the left hand. Let's go. Nice and controlled. Taking a big inhale down. Exhale up. You may not feel this. You may think this is easy, but trust me, you are going to feel it in that outer core. Maybe not today, probably tomorrow. Less than 10 seconds. We're going to switch the weight over. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Standing up nice and tall, same stance. Weights in the left hand, bending left. Let's go, 20 seconds. Only coming down as far as we're comfortable. So whether that's the knee or the shin, or just the upper thigh and hip. All are awesome. Listen to your bodies. 10 more seconds here. Deep breath down. Exhale up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job, guys. Next, moving on to another very slow and controlled movement, working more hamstrings and glutes, so back of our lower body. We're going to go into a good morning, standing up here. So here the weight is going to be on our upper backs. So we're holding it here. Nice firm grip. Having a squat stance, so feet should be with our shoulders here, or with our hips, between the hips and shoulders. Slight bend in our knees, like our deadlift. We're hinging at the hips, bringing the torso forward and the hips back. Nice and controlled. Quicker back up. So controlled, torso comes forward, trying to get it parallel. And back up. Keeping the slight bend in our knees. Gonna have 40 seconds here. And let's go. Hinging those hips. Keeping the back nice and flat. And squeezing the glutes up. Feet should stay nice and flat as well. So toes are down, heels are down. Big inhale, lean forward. Exhale, squeeze the glutes. Over halfway there here. We should be feeling that burn in our bums and the glutes and in the back of the thighs and our hamstrings. Less than 10 seconds. Nice and controlled. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Picking that weight back up. Moving on to some more core here. Final 2 movements, and we've got a longer break. Moving on to some core. We're going to go into a crunch with some leg drops first. So we're going to have 40 seconds here, either body weight or holding that weight. Laying on our backs nice and flat. And reaching or having the toes up towards the ceiling. We're crunching towards the toes, back down, dropping our legs. So crunch and leg drops. 40 seconds here, and let's go. Crunching up, lifting the shoulder blades, lowering those legs only as far as we're comfortable. Keeping that low back nice and flat. So if we need to bend our knees to a 90, then that is perfectly fine. Whatever your body is comfortable with. Keep the low back pressed into the ground here. 15 more seconds. Deep breaths. Keeping the core nice and tight. Bracing it for a punch. Give me 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Setting down that weight and our legs. Final movement before our break. We've got a weighted bird dog here. So the weight is optional, but bird dog, you know, the knees are under our hips, wrists are under the shoulders, and we're raising opposite arm and legs, either with our body weight, or we have the option, if we have that weight plate or textbook, to put the weight on our back, like our good morning, and have it on our back while we do this bird dog. So 40 seconds here, alternating right, left, and left, right here. 40 seconds, and let's go. Making sure the wrists stay under the shoulders, knees come back under our hips. We're nice and controlled, working on our low back strength and stability. Big inhale, reach. Exhale down, you're halfway there. Looking straight down at the ground so we don't strain our necks. Give me 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Sitting back up. Gently taking that weight off. Whew, that was our circuit. Grab some water if you need to. We're going to get back into repeating those movements a bit quicker around now that we know them. Probably go for more like 20 to 30 seconds each, but bump that intensity. All right, you guys, so we're repeating each movement for a lower amount of time, but bringing that intensity up. So grabbing some water, taking some deep breaths. Still, as always, get water breaks as you need it. So if you want to stop and take a break and grab some water, but I'm not, then that's perfectly fine. So we're going to get back into it all the way through, and then we're going to cool it down. So finish this out strong. Still nice and controlled on certain movements. We're going to start off with that single leg deadlift. Yeah, so this will be about 10 to 15 seconds each side. Nice and controlled. Weight is down in the right hand first. Left foot is flat. Leaning towards the ground. And back up. About 15 seconds here. And let's go. Hips come back. Torso's forward. Meet in the middle. Keeping that left foot planted, nice and flat. Toes should be straight forward. Halfway there. Inhale down. Exhale up. Squeezing the glutes nice and tight. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Straight into that right foot down. Weight in the left hand. And let's go. Nice and controlled. Big inhale to the toes. Exhale, meet in the middle. Chest is open. 10 more seconds. Feeling the work in that right glute. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Going straight into that heel elevated squat. So that heels elevated is optional. But if we have the option to, then we can do it. So heels on that weight plate or that textbook, toes down, slightly pointed outwards, nice and controlled squats, about 20, 30 seconds. And let's go sitting back into the hips, squeeze the glutes up. So really focusing on those muscles. We're working glutes and hamstrings. And the calves here in the back of our shins. Big inhale down. Exhale up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Squeeze the glutes up. Next, going back into our overhead squat with reverse lunge. So the overhead is optional. If not overhead, then we're at chest here. So nice and controlled. We're going back with the right foot. Meet in the middle for the squat. And back with the left foot. About 20 seconds here. And let's go. Stepping back Nice and wide. Sit the hips for the squat. And wide step back. Making sure we have a slight bend in our elbows if we're overhead. We're sitting back into those hips so the knees don't come too far past our toes. Woo! Deep breaths. Go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Alrighty, guys. Next up, back to that standing side crunch. So we're standing up nice and tall, legs nice and straight. Legs are straight, so knees in alignment with the heels and the hips. Weight in the right hand first. And let's go. Controlling the weight down towards our knee. Bit quicker back up. Trying to get a big inhale down. Exhale, squeeze, crunch that opposite side of our stomachs. Going for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Straight to that left side. Firm grip. Same stance. And let's go. We're down, nice and controlled. Quicker back up. So only coming down as far as we're comfortable. Whether that's a nice long stretch or just a little crunch. Either is good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back up to center. Next, we're going into our good morning here. Standing good morning. So feet are about hip to shoulder distance apart. Nice and flat. Slight bend in our knees. Weight comes to our upper back. Being sure that we're holding it there so it does not fall. About 20 seconds here. And let's go. We're hanging the hips back. Chest comes forward. Quicker, squeeze the glutes. So we're nice and controlled. Parallel to the ground. Squeeze the glutes up. Big inhale. And exhale up. 10 more seconds. Feeling this work in the glutes and the bum and the hamstrings. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Next up, straight to our final 2 movements here with the crunches and leg drops, and then that bird dog, that alternating limb raise. So starting with our crunches and leg drops, 20 seconds, keeping the low back nice and flat. Feet are to the ceiling. Arms are up with a slight bend in those elbows. And let's go. We're crunching up and dropping the legs as far as we can. Back up. Like I mentioned, if we like to just keep our knees in that 90-degree angle and dropping them, then that is awesome as well. Just keeping the low back nice and flat. So only dropping them as far as we're comfortable with. Deep breaths. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop the weight and the legs. Final movement going into that body weight or optional weighted bird dog. The weight comes on our back if it is weighted. So placing it on the upper or center back and getting into that tabletop position. So wrists under the shoulders, knees under our hips. And let's go 20 seconds, controlling those limbs up and back to tabletop position. Your final movement here, and then we're gonna cool it down, guys. Deep breaths. Inhale, exhale, back to center. 10 seconds. Working on our stability and our low back. 5, 4, 3, 2, and control it back down to center. Gently taking that weight off. Whew. And getting some water. I don't know about y'all, but I'm feeling good, nice, and worked out tonight. We're going to cool it down now. So get some water. Nice, quick cool down to lower that heart rate and stretch out some of those muscles. So we're going to start by sitting up nice and tall, opening the legs a bit wider. And we're going to reach towards one foot, making that arch in our arm and our side. And reaching to the opposite foot. Feeling these stretches in our side and low back. Taking deep breaths. Back to center. We're going to reach towards the middle. Feeling the stretch in our inner thighs here. Coming back to center. We're going to bring the legs together. Heel over opposite knee. Elbows to knee. And we're going to twist. Feeling that rotational stretch in the spine. The hips. And upper back. Taking deep breaths, we're going to switch to the opposite side. Heel comes across. Elbows to knee, and we're going to twist. Rotating our torsos. Feeling that spinal stretch. Coming back to center. Next, we're going to take the heel. Again, cross opposite knee. Planting our fingers down, our hands down. The opposite foot comes flat. And raising our hips. Feeling this stretch in our glutes and our hips and our bum here. And whenever we're ready, we can alternate sides. Heel comes across. And sitting up, falling towards that planted foot. As far as we're comfortable, feeling the stretch in our glutes and our hips. And taking your time in these stretches, if you'd like to hold them longer, then you can. But finally, we're going to flip over onto our stomachs, bringing the hands near the shoulders, pressing down, extending the arms up, opening up our chest, and laying the feet flat. Into our cobra, feeling the stretch in our stomachs and our abdominals. Taking deep breaths on our next big inhale. We can sit the hips back, open the knees a bit wider, and exhale into a child's pose. Drawing the fingertips out in front of us, feeling this stretch in our upper back, shoulders, and our hips and hip flexors. Taking a few more deep breaths here. And whenever your body is ready, you can sit back up, crisscross applesauce. And that is all I have for you guys this evening. Sorry for going a bit over time. I wanted to make sure you guys got a good workout in. Also, I'm sorry for this lighting because it is terrible. I'm going to have to go buy or figure out a light that I can use now that the sun is no longer here for me. So sorry about that. But I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's workout. Have an awesome rest of your Tuesday or rest of your week if I don't talk to you again. My name is Sam. Get some water, grab a snack, and hopefully I'll see you again this week. Bye.